Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show you a different kind of video. It's not going to be anything meta relevant or in the current meta. It's just going to be a video for fun. I like deck building a lot, and today I want to share this Phantom Knight build since it's my favorite archetype in the whole game. I just think their design is really cool. Their playstyle is also amazing, and yeah, I just enjoy every single bit. I appreciated a lot a couple of years ago when the new support came out and Phantom Knight was somewhere in the meta as a rogue deck. I did really well with it. I just think it's one of the decks that I have felt more comfortable with, and it's just amazing. But this is a very fun version. It's gonna be a very pure version of Phantom Knight. This is a version that I play usually with my friends only. If you take this to locals, I mean you can, but chances are you're gonna get wrecked a lot, especially with bestials and all that. But yeah, let me show you. It's mostly pure, except for the extra deck. There are a couple of cards that are off archetype just because there are not enough cards for the extra deck. But for the main deck, it's I would say 99% Phantom Knights, except for I think one card, being that reinforcement of the army. So again, guys, pure fun. Don't roast me in the comments. This is just for fun, almost like an anime kind of thing. So the 3 torn scales, 3 cloak, 3 styling boots, 2 gloves, 2 stained reefs. This is for the lineup for the level 3s, almost maximizing every single one of them. Just keep in mind, this is pure build. There's no hand traps. There's nothing crazy like that. So we do need to maximize every single name so we can have additional resources and available plays on the opening hands. So for you guys who don't know anything about Phantom Knights, just real quick, pretty much your hand or your second hand is in the graveyard. All Phantom Knights have effects in grave by banishing themselves, and they can either revive themselves or search for another Phantom Knight or search for another spell card or Foolish Boreal, another thing, or summon another one. So that's pretty much for this lineup. It's really cool when you open Torn Scales. Torn Scales being the best starter for the deck. It's just amazing to see all the time. Now for the other Phantom Knight monsters that maybe are not as famous as the other ones, we have the one Cloven Helm and the one Flagell Armor. These two are part of the OG Phantom Knights, and sadly, they're not that good. They're both level 4, but let's just say Phantom Knights work a lot better when they're level 3. That's why these are all the best, because they're all level 3s. They allow us to rank into Breaksword and just go up from there. And their graveyard effects are not as good either. Fragile Armor, you can discard another Phantom Knight card and then draw a card, which sometimes it comes up, and it's useful if you want to get your Phantom Knight cards in grave for their additional effects. But yeah, it's not really that. They're just, let's just say these are better, far better. And Cloven Helm, what it does, you banish it, and then during the end phase, you can bring back a Phantom Knight card to your hand, which sometimes it comes up. And then the Raider's Wing, which it doesn't have the Phantom Knight's name in the name, but it is always treated as a Phantom Knight card. It's really good because it is an extender for the deck, and additionally to that, whichever Xyz monster that has this as material cannot be targeted by card effects. So it's really good. That's it for the monster lineup. For the spells, we're only playing 4. So as mentioned before, Reinforcement of the Army is the only card that is outside from the archetype. It's just an additional search for any of the other Phantom Knight names. And yeah, let's just say it's just like generic warrior support since they're all warriors. So we're playing one of the each rank up magic spells, being of course the Phantom Knight rank up magic force, the best one because you can pretty much activate it whenever. Because the rank up magic launch, you need to have NXCs on the field without any materials. So it just comes up a lot when you use, say, Dark Rebellion to rank up using him. But of course, this one's a lot better, but this does come up sometimes. Additionally, you can banish this, attach a Phantom Knight to one of your Xyz as a material. So that sometimes comes up in some plays. And then the Phantom Knight Spear, it's just an additional card in the field that whenever your Phantom Knights are targeted by card effects, your opponent burns 500 life points, and then it also replaces destruction of a dark monster on the field by banish it from the grave. So pretty useful since pretty much all of Phantom Knights are dark. That's it for the spells. I remember back when I was playing this deck competitively, Imperial Order was still legal at 1, and I would play it in the main deck because, as you can see, very little spells. And the competitive version, I think I only played the Rhoda and the rank of Magic Force. That's it. That's all for spells. Maybe droplets as well, but let's just say droplets you could pretty much just send for cost and get rid of everything. So for the traps, of course, the 3 Phantom Knights Fogblade, arguably the best trap for the archetype, and I would also say it's one of the best traps in the entire game. It's a impermanent, it's also a monster reborn, and it's also a kind of negate attack. So if you guys don't know what it does, again, it targets a monster in the field, negates its effects. It cannot attack or be attacked, so you can also target your own monsters to prevent them from being attacked. And then in graveyard, you banish it, bring back a Phantom Knight. Then the 2 wings, Fogblade, and Sword, they all have the same graveyard effect. You just banish them, bring back a Phantom Knight. And these 2 boost attack and also protect from destruction. Slightly different. Wings is better because it's just lingering. This one, it's equipped because it's a continuous spell. And if they get rid of this, then your monster pretty much loses the attack boost and the protection. But yeah, wings it's always the best of these 2. And then the 1 Ship Brigadine. I think these are the most famous ones for people who know a little bit about Phantom Knights, especially Brigadine, I think, because it's seen play from outside the deck, as well as Fogblade, back when Orcus was also a thing. But yeah, let's just say like these are the most useful ones for the deck. But yeah, Fogblade definitely one of the best for sure. And then for the lesser known ones, the 3 Mistclaws, very good trap card, especially in this kind of version of the deck. You can target a banished Phantom Knight and bring it back to your hand, so it gives you some kind of recovery. And whenever you're being attacked directly, you can summon itself with another Phantom Knight in grave, copy its level, and then you have 2 additional bodies on board. Say if, for example, you do that and then you have cards like Fogblade or Wings or Sword, or some of the cards I'm gonna show you in a bit, you can prevent those attacks, and then you have material for Xyz summons. The 1 Shadow Veil, it's also an attack boost, and it also serves as some kind of protection when you're attacked directly. You can also summon it on the field. The 1 Phantom Knights of Tomb Shield, sadly, this card will be very good if it had the same condition as the Ship Brigadine. Because for you guys who don't know, you can activate Ship Brigadine as long as you don't have any traps on the on the graveyard, in the graveyard, the same turn you set it. If this card was like that, it would be amazing because he would be an amazing say extender slash starter. But sadly, you have to wait a turn to activate it, so it's not that really, let's say it's not that good. Its graveyard effect though, it's very very good because it negates traps by banishing itself from the grave. So yeah, in this type of format or dual conditions where we're both playing or agreeing to play pure, a lot of archetypes have a lot of trap cards, and it just comes up very often. It's a very very good card. Sadly, I wish it would have the same condition as the Shade Brigandine. And then the two Phantom Knights of Wrong Magnetism and the two Phantom Knights of Lost Vambrace. So these two trap cards are so far the only way to summon the Phantom Knights rank 2, being the Javelin. I don't know why Konami has not given us some kind of support that let us module levels so we can summon that monster easily. But yeah, so far these are the only cards that allow that kind of play. So again, this is a negate attack. So this is the other card I was mentioning before, that you can protect these type of cards whenever you're attacked directly. You can either prevent them from being attacked, or you can use this to prevent the attack. And then the second effect is you can send any other Phantom Knights card on your field to draw 2 cards. So you're obviously gonna have things like Fogblade or this cards, or even your monsters. So you get additional draw power, and you also get your resources to the graveyard. It's very very good. And then the Lost Vambrace, it's amazing because it's some kind of protection. Again, I've been saying this a lot, but this is why I like the deck so much, playing in this version, because it has so many resources to protect and to play around, and just to accommodate to the different situations you might be in. So what Lost Vambrace does, you can target a monster on the field. It becomes level 2 until the end of the turn, and then as long as that monster is face up, your Phantom Knight monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. So you can target your Phantom Knight, and you pretty much have an unbreakable board by attacks. And it also helps interrupt your opponent, especially if you're playing against another Xyz deck or a Synchro deck that requires certain levels. You just make them level 2 and you just screw up their lines. So it's very very good. And yeah, so basically what you could do is just on your turn, target one of your monsters, make them level 2, and then you can go into the Javelin. But I would say I've used it more to disrupt the opponent's plays. When I play this deck, I usually play against decks like Speed Droid, because I have a friend of mine who likes to play like Arc 5 theme kind of duels. So that card always screws up his synchro summoning. And then for the last 3 traps, the one Dark Gauntlets, the Phantom Knight's Claw, and the Raider's Unbreakable Mind. This is basically a Foolish Burial for another Phantom Knight card, and it also summons itself to the field whenever you're being attacked, and it gains I think it was 300 or 200. Yeah, 300 defense for every Phantom Knight trap on your graveyard. So yeah, a very big board. Not board, monster, sorry. And then the Phantom Knight's Claw, it's a counter by detaching a material from one of your Xyz to negate and destroy a monster effect. I wish they would make this a spell and trap negate, because we already have a lot of monster negate with Fogblade, and then we also have Rakim on the extra deck. So yeah, I wish Konami would have made this a spell and trap negate, but maybe maybe they knew they were doing. I think if this was a spell and trap negate, the deck would be a lot stronger. And Raiders Unbreakable Mind, I think it's kind of like the worst of all the traps. You can get an additional pop when you use an Xyz material, as an Xyz monster as material for an Xyz summon. So basically would be like when you have Dark Rebellion, and you want to rank up into Requiem, or you have Reader's Night and you either go into Breaksword or you go into Arc Rebellion. But I don't know, I think it was completely unnecessary because you have Rusty Bardiche, you can also pop. So like, unless your opponent is like flooded with a lot of things and you need multiple pops, I think it wasn't just as necessary. And whenever this card is destroyed, well, it's face up, you can recycle one of your rank up magic cards. So that rarely comes up, but if it ever does, I mean, it did come up once, but I wouldn't say it was super useful. That's it for the main deck. It's 40 cards. I use every single card in the archetype. And then for the extra deck, I play the 2 Rusty Bardiche because since we're playing the pure, we might see it more than once. Rusty Bardiche is just one of the best cards, period. It's just like the heart of the engine. It not only dumps your Phantom into the grave, it also lets you set your spells and traps. So it gets you going like crazy. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, your graveyard is your second hand. So it's pretty much like you're drawing 2 cards. That's how I see it. Because you set one and then you send another one, and then that other one can do something else. It's just crazy. No wonder they banned it for some time, especially because Orcus was abusing it. Now the one Cherubini, because Cherubini, I think it's an additional Phantom Knight card by default. But yeah, we're not playing Graph or anything, so it's just basically helping us to link climb and get more resources on to the graveyard. I played the 1 IP Masquerina, honestly, for no reason. I just needed another level, another link to make Rusty Bardiche undestructible, but I do not have a different target for it. I guess we could use SP Little Knight if you wanted to, but I tend not to go too meta with this because, again, it's just a fun format for my friends and I. That's it for the links. For the Xyz, the 3 Breaksword, again, we're just maximizing everything because Breaksword for me is also part of the core of the engine that lets us rank up into our level 4s and that lets us like pop field and clear field. It's just an amazing card. The 1 Javelin, it's pretty much a quick negate, again, like another monster negate on field, and makes the attack level the attack 0. Sorry, it's very late. The attack 0, and as long as it has a Phantom Knight as material, which we do in this version. And then for the rank 4s, 2 Dark Rebellion, because Dark Rebellion is also it's a Yuto's signature monster from the Arc 5 anime, and yeah, it allows us to break your opponent's monster, cutting its attack in half, and then it lets us climb into the Dark Requiem, because Dark Requiem needs Dark Rebellion underneath as material to actually activate its effect. So really good. And then the 1 Arc Rebellion, or the 1 Punch Man as I like to call it, because if your opponent just swarms the field with lots of monsters, you just bring this, stack up all the attack for game. Very good. I've seen this card so many, like I've won so many duels with this card alone that it's crazy. And then the 2 Raiders Knight, lets you rank up or rank down into either Arc Rebellion or Breakzord. Technically, you could also do Dark Requiem, but as I mentioned, you need Dark Rebellion as material, so its effect actually goes through. So these two are pretty much your options. And then the last one is the Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon Overlord. It's just a fun card to have here. It doesn't really do anything in the deck because it's summoning conditions and everything. It's just not possible in this version. This is more like a pendulum kind of thing where you modulate their levels and you make Xyz being able to have level and whatnot. Like there's a lot of cards that I don't recall their names right now, but yeah, you can put them on top of like any of these in case you needed to. But yeah, you could cut this for, I don't know, another Raider's Knight or another Arc Rebellion, SP Little Knight if you really wanted to. But yeah, that's it for this profile. Thanks for watching. I really love this archetype so much. I just think it's super fun. I am hoping it gets more support soon. I mean, Raid Raptor already got a second wave after, because during the Phantom Rage, where these cards came out, it also came along with some Raid Raptor cards, and they already had another wave of support last year. And Konami, where is my Phantom Knight support? Hopefully soon. I really love playing this deck, and sadly after Bestials came in, it's just been very rough to play with this deck, because it seriously relies on having everything in the grave. But yeah, thanks for watching again, guys, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you guys do some kind of similar format with your friends. I think it's really fun. It gives you a fresh look into the game, and it's just less stressful, so to speak. But yeah, guys,